What's up, everybody? So here we go. At the shop, I got the UFO drone from JXD, Jinxing Da. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. That's what it says. Anyway, UFO drone. This might have some sort of numbers or something. The 398. How about that? We'll go with that. So yeah, here's the little little girl thing here. Has a triple bladed props and is very cool. So there's not a lot. This thing isn't packed with cameras and features and stuff like that. So I don't have a lot to go over, which is perfectly fine with me. I wish they were all kind of like that. I don't think this has headless or anything. Yeah, I don't think it does. Uh, so this is basic old school kind of now. Three rates. The yaw does slightly change for each rate. Even in high, it's not super fast. Let's talk about the bad. The bad. Well, it's pretty heavy. It does have a big battery. You can put a 650 in here. It has a nice, big, spacious battery bay. I think it comes with a 500 milliamp hour battery. I have a 600 in here now, and we've got 650s in here. And it needs it because besides the battery being big, the quad itself is kind of heavy for a tiny little thing that it is. And that is due to these huge prop ring guard protector quad things. So it does make it kind of heavy, and the heaviness kind of makes it a little wobbly sometimes in the turns. Dips, if you cut throttle a lot and then try to bring it back up, you probably do a foot touch. With a fresh battery, the first couple minutes it's pretty zippy and responsive. Doesn't have too much of a problem due to weight, but the three-bladed props do help with the lift for that. And the weight, I think that's about all I'm going to label bad. And that's like, as always, it's just bad to me, really. These are just my opinions, but that's the thing where I was like, man, I wish it wasn't so heavy so I could whip it around corners without it dropping to the ground. But this thing's super fun to fly. It's indoor, this is fun. Outdoor, it's really fun. This thing has this weird habit where it doesn't have a lot of pitch at first, but then once it goes for a few seconds, it starts pitching pretty hard, and you can get this thing moving in a straight line. As soon as you go to whip around in a corner in a fast turn, it's going to dip a lot. So yaw turn a little bit more than funnel turn, to give a little less aileron in the turns, and it's not too bad. But this thing lights up. If you haven't seen it, let's find it there. So it lights up. This is like the coolest night flyer. It's one of the coolest night flyers ever just because of the lights. It's LEDs all over the place and in those big prop circle ring UFO things. So lights are awesome. Like I said, the pitch isn't bad once it gets going, so the pitch is good. Could use a little bit more yaw, but how many times do I say that? Always. These are all trims, and you could hear it trim out. So these are all trims, and they all work, which is hallelujah. This is your rate key, and you get 3 rates, and like I said, the yaw changes, and this is your flip key, and it does really nice flips. When the battery's full, it does real fast, tight flips, for a heavy quad. Pretty surprised. You get about 5 or 6 minutes of flight time with the battery that's included, and it depends on what you're doing. If you're doing a lot of flips or pushing it hard, you can get a little bit less. If you're just kind of floating around the house, you get a little bit more. Takes those batteries take with the charger about an hour to charge or so. like you guys really cared about that. But if some of you wanted to know, there you go. It does come with a full set of spare props, USB, excuse me, the USB charging cable, and that's about it. And like always, here at the shop, things get a little scattered, and I don't know where the instructions are to this, but the instructions were a little because a lot of Chinese in it. But it did with pointing and pictures and illustrations and a little bit of magic. I did figure out the one question I had, which was how to calibrate the accelerometer. So, what else can I say? This thing is fun, man. I think it's pretty inexpensive, and for beginners, I think this is a big go, a big fat go, because it's very fun indoors. It's got the low rate is extremely low. You know, a kid could fly it, and it has these things that actually protect the props and protect walls and everything else. You know that you have maybe in your house, and they work. If you hit something, this thing will keep flying. You know, these things don't bend or flex, so if it hits or taps a wall, it'll just keep going. You know, not that I would know. I never hit anything. All right, there's not much else I can tell you guys. I think this thing is awesome. It's not a speed demon. It is not a super aggressive, fast flying, zipping around, but it is pretty fast in the straightaways. I think this thing could surprise some quads in a straight up drag race. And but you know, for a night flyer, I think this would be the coolest one to take camping with you. If you guys go camping or are into that or something, I think this would be cool. Or just at a party or something, I think it would be cool, like you know, raver. Whoop whoop. All right, whatever. All right, let's go take a look at the flight footage, and we'll call this a review. What's up, everybody? Got the UFO drone out here, Maxbo UFO something. You can recalibrate the accelerometer by holding both sticks down and to the left, and you'll get some flashing, and then you're ready to go. It has 3 rates, and this is the low rate, and we'll get through them and fly it around. So here's your low rate yaw, and here is your low rate pitch and roll. It's low rates is for a beginner indoors, because any kind of wind isn't going to help with that. So here is mid rates, and we got your yaw. Doesn't look like it's much different. And then we got your pitch and roll, which is much better. Still not great, but at least it will move when you want it to. So that's a bonus. And then here is your high rates, and here's your yaw, and it gets a little better. Not bad. And here's your pitch and your roll, and this gets way better. Although, like I said, this is it gets more pitch as it as it goes. It doesn't start off with a lot of pitch, but you know, after a couple seconds, it ends up with quite a bit. So this thing is amazing at night and even in the day. I really love this thing. It's fun to fly. It's a little dippy and a little because it's heavy. You know, it tends to drop a little bit, but especially when you get a lot of space and this thing starts pitching. See that? There we go. Haha, foot touch. But because it's heavy and you want to try to stop or do a braking turn, you're going to get a lot of dipping. A lot of dipping in the turns, hard turns in general. Tree. So yeah, this thing is fun. Great indoor flyer, good all around flyer. You know, not great in the wind, but you know, we're just gonna finish it out, fly it here. Oh yeah, I think it does flips. Give it some height. Let me see. There we go. Pretty good, actually. Oh, this is really nice flips. I don't know if I've ever even done one. I think the first flight when the battery was almost dead, and then it was just dropping so much. But you're not going to get much of a funnel out of this thing because it doesn't want to pitch until after. That's about all you get. This thing is really cool at night. You know, I said it a whole bunch, but it really, this is like the coolest night flyer ever. It does look like a UFO drone. Really cool little flyer. I think beginners, I think this is one of the coolest beginner quads because it's so protected. Um, you know, it's going to be hard to break. It's pretty heavy. It's like I'm a NASCAR driver. Don't do any right turns. Here we go. Let's do some right turns. I can feel the battery getting a little low. Oh, foot touch. Was not going to recover from that. Alright, I think that's good enough flight demo. Whoa, 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 whoa. Almost lost it. Almost lost it again. Oh, we're blinking anyway. Yep, and no permanent crashes. Haha, UFO drone. Yeah, thanks guys.